Morning, everyone, and welcome to our Heavenly Parent Holy Community Oceania Hundoke, together with Rev Yutaka Yamada. Today is Wednesday, the 18th of June 2025, or the 23rd of May in the 13th year of Chongelguk. So thank you all for coming, and let's begin. There we go. Let's begin with a bow to our true parents of heaven, earth, and humankind. Chanji Champuninge. Kyombo. Paro. Let's recite our family pledge, both in Korean and English.
가존맨세 8. 천일국 주인, 우리 가족은 참 사랑을 중심하고 천일국 시대를 맞이하여 절대 신앙, 절대 사랑, 절대 복종으로 신의 일체 이상을 이루어 지산천국과 천산천국의 해방권과 속방권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Family pledge number 8. Our family, the owner of Chongyulguk, pledges having entered the era of Chongyulguk to achieve the ideal of God and human beings united in love through absolute faith, absolute love, and absolute obedience, and to perfect the realm of liberation and complete freedom in the kingdom of God on earth and in heaven by centering on true love. Thank you. I'll just share again Father's prayer that he gave in April 1970. Please let us become children who fulfill completely the responsibility of the providence of restoration. Today, when we look at the world of Satan, we come to know the truth that in order to search for a second beginning, your love has been accompanying us deeply throughout the course of history and now in this age. We earnestly hope and desire that you will allow us to become your sons and daughters who are able to be grateful for this. As for going the absolute necessary course in front of us, which we must go now, we must go the path of the individual able, and we must go the course of the family, the tribe, people, nation, and world level ables. Please let us realize that until we have gone the whole way on this path, we will become busier and busier. Please go together with us along this path. We are going while being so busy that we have no time to eat even though we want to, and we have no time to sleep even though we want to. We know the fact that you can look at us and finally take a rest, not only we, but also the Cain world we have saved, return to you. Father, please allow us to become people who fulfill this kind of responsibility completely, who make efforts and offer all our devotion without lack, while indemnifying your indignation. Father, requesting you to please be together with us personally in everything. We humbly pray in the name of the true parents, Arju. Thank you. And let's give a warm welcome to Rev Yutaka as he shares this morning.
Good morning, our brothers and sisters. Thank you for joining today's morning Hondoke. Today is also a beautiful day. Let's begin the great time. So thank you. Yesterday I mentioned about the memo about the 2025 Global Top Gun Youth Special Hyojeon Cheonan Workshop hosted by Horimada Han. So I believe all national leader already sent to the memo. If you didn't send, please also send to your brothers and sisters and encourage young people to attend this Hyojeon Chombo, the Global Top Gun Youth Workshop. This is good opportunity for second gen, especially those person who are really supporting and working together. So it will be held from August 6 to August 26. So 21 days in Korea. Please also support the things. Okay, so I'd like to share some activity photo. This is from Sydney side. Continuously, the witnessing is going on to meet the guests and brothers and sisters. Please pray for that. And next, I received the report from Solomon Island. You can see now Solomon Island is organizing the many workshop, a seminar, and this is a study gathering. So missionary organized. I think this is dancing maybe. That's good. And also sharing together or education together, those things. So our one-on-one relationship, or how to create the artistically the connection with all brothers and sisters, that is also the important. Testify our heavenly parent and also help them to grow up artistically, internally, and externally. Those effort is really precious. So please also pray and support for all providence in the Solomon Island. New Zealand side is also doing witnessing well to invite guests for the witnessing the cafe and also organizing the program, service project program, many things is going on. And now Sydney side is also preparing about True Parents life course exhibition. So we try to establish these contents and open the Peace Embassy and to welcome any kind of person to listen the True Parents life course, peace movement, and of course testify our heavenly parents and True Parents. So those witnessing activity is really not so much kind of the showing activities. Really loving people, serving people, or investing people. This is also similar pastoring to our brothers and sisters, blessed families, second gen and third generation. So let's begin. Let's return back to the origin to love and also sacrifice and serve for brothers and sisters, centering on true love and testify our heavenly parent and true parents through our life behavior and also investment. So many countries doing well. So please also involve together and support and also Father Johnson. So thank you all brothers and sisters for your investment. We will continue to go forward. Okay. So today, let's start Fundok, the value of true parents in heaven's providence. Chapter 5, True Father, the returning Messiah who inherited the mission of Jesus. So now we are studying about these true parents, the Champumoron, already chapter 5. And yesterday, we studied about the preparation course as the second advent of the Messiah, how the Father was preparing and to join the holy wedding ceremony. There is heavenly parent will and wish, that is to fulfill the ideal of true parents. One man, one woman, only begotten son and only begotten daughter, or only begotten son Jesus Christ and only begotten daughter, and also current providence, second advent of Messiah, true father, and also only begotten daughter, true mother. Their meeting is precious. So as the true parents, when they meet each other, one-on-one meeting, to become true parents and to restore or fulfill the ideal of creation and fulfill the God's dream. That's why during the preparation period, there is also growing period and even responsibility, even our true parents. And finally, true father, true mother met each other and joined the holy wedding ceremony. So we can see there are those kind of background. and to continue for the next providence. Okay, so let's see the next part. Mrs. Na, please.
Jesus and the returning Messiah and the path of the principles of creation. In order to give birth to the only begotten Son and only begotten daughter, first, in the Old Testament age, Heavenly Parent guided the providence or restoration to sever the connection of lineage with Satan. On this foundation, Heavenly Parent sent Jesus, the only begotten Son, through which the providence of restoration of the Old Testament age was completed and concluded. From that point on, in Heavenly Parent's providence of salvation, there was no longer a providence of restoration through indemnity of the same form as in the Old Testament age.
Thank you. In each era or each time, there was the heavenly parent or heaven's providence. So it says about providence in the Old Testament age. At that moment, we could also understand that all humanity are fallen into the Satan's dominion. But under that kind of the Satan's dominion, how God can guide the people to create a foundation to receive the heavenly parent's son, a heavenly parent's daughter, only begotten son, only begotten daughter, under this foundation. So when we see about the providence of in the Old Testament, that providence was to create the foundation to welcome the God's direct children. And also there was a providence to change the lineage. And based on those foundation, finally, Heavenly Parent could send the only begotten Son on this earth. Please.
The providence of restoration in the Old Testament age was Heavenly Parent's providence to establish the foundation for the birth of the only begotten Son and only begotten daughter. The only begotten Son and only begotten daughter born on that foundation are to follow the course of God's principles of creation as the original ancestors of humankind. The only begotten Son and only begotten daughter thus advance to reach perfection through their own conscience effort.
Yes. So what kind of things should they do when only begotten son and daughter come to the earth? This is the original plan which God wanted to fulfill through Adam and Eve, and that is the completion of the ideal of creation. And this mission and purpose is same even for only begotten son and only begotten daughter. Please.
By attending Heavenly Parent and joining together through the Holy Wedding, they become the true parents who bring salvation to fallen people. The true parents bequeath Heavenly Parent's lineage to fallen human beings by giving them rebirth through the blessing ceremony. The essence of rebirth, by which their fallen lineage is converted to Heavenly Parent's lineage, is to be born again through the love of true parents who are one with Heavenly Parent.
Yes, so that is to become true parents, and through the blessing, true parents will organize and change or make it the changing the lineage of all humanity. Please.
Therefore, the cause for the true Father who inherited the mission of Jesus, the only begotten Son, is to pass through the course of growth to maturity according to God's principles of creation and participate with true Mother, the only begotten daughter, in the holy wedding, together becoming the true parents. Through the blessing ceremony, true parents give rebirth to fallen people as sons and daughters of Heavenly Parents' lineage through the true love of both true Mother and true Father. This is comparable to the situation the original ancestors would have been in had they not fallen but had perfected themselves as true parents and given birth to heavenly parents, true children.
Yes. So heavenly parent will and wish toward Adam and Eve, and also Jesus Christ and only begotten daughter are same. And also this expectation are same to true father, same to true mother, which is to fulfill the heavenly complete and fulfill the heavenly providence. And there is the expectation and responsibility. So when it would be happened, the God's ideal, which was not fulfilled in the Garden of Eden, could start newly from that moment. Please.
The center of the providence for the fulfillment of Heavenly Parent's dream. In order to save fallen humankind and fulfill the purpose of creation, Heavenly Parent wished to bring about the birth of new original ancestors of humankind, the only begotten Son and only begotten daughter, and bring them to perfection as the true parents. Then, through the blessing ceremony given by the true parents, Heavenly Parent intended to save fallen human beings, making them sons and daughters of Heavenly Parent. In this providence of salvation, Heavenly Parent establishes the original ancestors of humankind, the only begotten Son and only begotten daughter, born as the son and daughter of God's direct lineage, as the central pillars of the providence.
Yes. So we are talking about heavenly parent dream and ideal of true parents. Then how would it be happened? It says that in this providence of salvation, heavenly parent establishes the original ancestors of humankind, the only begotten son and only begotten daughter, born as a son and daughter of God's direct lineage, as the central pillars of the providence. So, as it mentions, the direct God's lineage, they become the central pillar of the providence and lead the providence. Please.
It was Heavenly Parent's intention to send both the only begotten Son and the only begotten Son, Jesus, and the only begotten daughter together 2,000 years ago to fulfill the ideal of true parents. Due to the disbelief of the central figures in the providence, however, Heavenly Parent sent only the only begotten Son, Jesus, and was unable to send the only begotten daughter at that time. Therefore, it was Jesus who was born as the only begotten Son, who was the central pillar of the providence during that time, in accordance with the principles of creation in Heavenly Parent's providence.
Yes. So in the Jesus time, only Jesus could come on this earth at that moment as the direct child of God or God's lineage, the only begotten Son. That's why that time, that Jesus Christ, he was the central pillar of the providence, and centering on him, the providential history or development of the providence was happened in that era of Jesus Christ. Please.
Since the time of Jesus' passing, the focus of Heavenly Parent's providence has been to give birth to and establish the only begotten daughter of Heavenly Parent's direct lineage as the central pillar of the providence. Today, after 2,000 years in the era of the completion of the providence, True Mother, the only begotten daughter, born for the first time in 6,000 years of biblical history, is the central pillar for the completion of the providence and Heavenly Parent's providential plan. Therefore, True Parent's providence will proceed centered on True Mother, the only begotten daughter. The Messiah at the second coming, True Father, develops the providence of salvation together in unity with True Mother, the only begotten daughter.
Yes, thank you. So this point is especially emphasized in this current this time. So after Jesus went to the spiritual world, what was the main purpose of the providence and main focusing point? It was to send the only begotten daughter on this earth, and this is the purpose of the providence, and this will be the central pillar of the providence. So I will read the last part. Therefore, True Parents' providence will proceed centered on True Mother, the only begotten daughter, True Mother through the Messiah at the second coming, True Father developed the providence of salvation together in unity with True Mother, the only begotten daughter. So we could see those process of the providence. Please.
Until now, the work of the providence of restoration has proceeded centered on men. To correct this and establish the ideal world of creation, True Mother, the only begotten daughter, must reveal Heavenly Mother to humankind and carry out the central role at the forefront to complete the work in the providence of restoration.
Yes, this is important part. I will read again. Until now, the work of the providence of restoration has proceeded centered on man. To correct this and establish the ideal world of creation, True Mother, the only begotten daughter, must reveal Heavenly Mother to humankind and carry out the central role at the forefront to complete the work in the providence of restoration. So providence should be changed from male-centered history to our centered on Heavenly Mother. So we can see those providence. Then, of course, Heavenly Parent. We can see this development of the providence. Please.
However, because the original status, value, and salvic role of True Mother, the only begotten daughter sent by Heavenly Parent, was not fully revealed in True Parent's providence, the 53 years from the holy wedding unto foundation day were like a wilderness period. During these 53 years, True Mother, the only begotten daughter, has always been the central pillar and has been embracing everything in True Parent's providence and participating in the providence internally, continuously working in complete oneness with Heavenly Parent. Through this, True Parent's providence was victorious in the wilderness period and could advance to the Chunukuk era.
Yes. So how much do we or do people understand or know the essence of the providence and also to recognize or realize the things? So in that Jesus time, Jewish people was waiting for the Messiah, but before that, they are waiting the Elijah, who would come before the Messiah. Then they are continuously waiting only the Elijah and could not accept Jesus Christ at that time. And Christianity, I think, also the similar way. Even Jesus said, I will come and I will organize the marriage supper of the Lamb to meet the bride, only begotten daughter. This should be the main purpose on target, but our Christianity was waiting just the second Advent Messiah and could not recognize what was the main target of focus of the wish of Jesus Christ or Heavenly Parent. That's why in this place there is also the struggling and this is gap. And there is also same in our unification movement. When we see our true Father's word, Father mentioned actually several times only begotten daughter, even mentioning true mother is also only begotten daughter in early time or several time. But how much really we could understand seriously the meaning of the things and because we are also studying divine principle, final conclusion is to welcoming the Messiah, then finish. That's why I think we study only divine principle, then people easy to think. Main conclusion is to welcoming the only second advent of the Messiah. So why Mother is emphasizing about Champmoron? Because divine principle is principle. Many parts are principle, that's why needed. For example, even this Champmoron is almost ending, but the many contents of divine principle is needed, kind of the purpose of life, spiritual world, or historical things. Those are, of course, needed, but the starting point, ending part, or essence of providence was missing. That's why Mada is explaining about Champmoron and asking us to study. What was the starting point? That was the heavenly parent's dream, and only one son, one daughter. That is the ideal of the principle of creation. And of course, the purpose of providence is also same, to welcome only begotten son, only begotten daughter, or true parents, and fulfill the heavenly parents' dream. So through these things, we can readjust again, and we can complete to study those contents. Please.
After True Father's Chonju Songwa, True Mother proclaimed Foundation Day and is leading the Chunungkook Providence on Earth. In the Chunungkook era, True Mother brought to completion the four-position foundation of True Parents' family in heaven and on earth by offering 3 years of memorial devotions for True Father before Heavenly Parent. True Parents, together with Heavenly Parent with whom they are completely one, are the true parents of heaven, earth, and humankind. True Mother on earth is taking the lead in completing the providence of Chunungkook, and True Father in the heavenly realm is always with True Mother on earth.
Yes. Then finally, the foundation day, the era of Chunungkook was started. So in each time or in each moment, in order to fulfill the heavenly providence, our true parents, our heavenly parents, and our true mother is investing and offering special chanson continuously. So after Sonfa, true mother also offered the special chanson condition for true father. Please.
Now that True Mother, True Father, and Heavenly Parent are one, when all people become one with True Mother, they become one with True Father and one with Heavenly Parent, and are therefore able to attain complete salvation, becoming filial sons and daughters and loyal patriots of heaven as citizens of Chunungkook.
Yes, so I will read again. Now that true mother, true father, and heavenly parent are one. When all people become one with true mother, they become one with true father and one with heavenly parent, and are therefore able to attain complete salvation, becoming filial sons and daughters and loyal patriots of heaven as a citizen of Chunungkook. So we can say this is our final destination to complete the providence and to develop for the future. Please.
The position and realm of heart of True Father, the returning Messiah. The position and value of True Father in Chunungkook era can be summarized in 3 main points. First, in the Chunungkook era, True Father is the one who has completed Jesus' unfulfilled hopes.
Okay, please continue.
The desire of Jesus, the only begotten Son, was to fulfill the dream of Heavenly Parent by participating with the only begotten daughter in the holy wedding and together become the true parents. However, due to the disbelief of the central figures, and the people of this time, the only begotten daughter could not be born, and Jesus, unable to reach the position of the true parents, died on the cross. Even so, as the only begotten Son, Jesus was meant to fulfill heavenly parents' dream by assuming the role of true parent.
Yes, thank you. So it explains about 3 points. So let's see one by one. First, in the Chanukuk era, true father is the one who has completed Jesus' unfulfilled hopes. So this is clear point. When true father come on this earth as the second Adam, the Messiah, he have to fulfill the will and mission of the Jesus Christ. That's why we have to understand clearly what was the hope, will, or mission of the Jesus Christ. Please.
Heavenly parents gave birth to true mother, the only begotten daughter, among the chosen Korean people 2,000 years ago, after the time of Jesus. Accordingly, heavenly parent called true father and had him inherit Jesus' mission and foundation. True father had the responsibility to fulfill Jesus' hope by holding the holy wedding with the only begotten daughter. Through the only begotten daughter's resolve, true father participated together with true mother in the marriage supper of the Lamb, and they became the true parents. True father thus completed Jesus' intended path.
Yes, thank you. So those explanation is written simply, but please read carefully or read well the order, and also in terms of the view of the providence of central pillar. So we could see even this simple word, but we can see the differences. Please.
Second, in the Junong-Cook era, true father is humankind's eternal true father. In the Junong-Cook era, true father, the Messiah, at the second coming, became one with true mother, the only begotten daughter, and they completed the path to becoming true parents. After offering memorial devotions, true mother proclaimed the completion of the four-position foundation of true parents' family in heaven and on earth. True parents completed their position as the true ancestors of humankind. True mother, the only begotten daughter, is the eternal true mother of humankind, and true father is the eternal true father of humankind.
Yes. Second, in the Chonikuk era, true father is humankind's eternal true father. And also second part, true parents completed their position as the true ancestors of humankind. True mother, the only begotten daughter, is the eternal true mother of humankind, and true father is the eternal true father of humankind. So this position is the absolute position. So true father is the absolute true parents and true father. So and true mother is absolute position as the true mother or eternal true mother. So we should not misunderstand this point. Please.
Third, in the Junong-Cook era, true father is one who achieved oneness and love with Heavenly Parent. Heavenly Parent's dream was that when the son and daughter created as the ancestors of humankind perfected themselves and became the true parents through the holy wedding, Heavenly Parent would become the substantial true parent in oneness with them and live together with all of humanity as sons and daughters in the kingdom of heaven on earth.
Yes. Third, in the Chonikuk era, true father is one who achieved oneness in love with Heavenly Father. So we can see true mother is appearing as the substantial body of true mother. True father, of course, here as a substantial body of Heavenly Father. So true parent dream would be fulfilled through true parents. So we can see. So this is the final slide today.
When true parents achieve oneness with Heavenly Parent, together they become the true parents of heaven, earth, and humankind. In the true parents of heaven and earth and humankind, Heavenly Parent is revealed substantially through the true parents. Therefore, in the Chunul Cook era, since true mother, the only begotten daughter, and true father, the Messiah at the second coming, are the true parents of heaven, earth, and humankind, who are one with Heavenly Parent. The invisible Heavenly Parent assumes true parents' form.
Yes, thank you. So absolute oneness between heavenly parent and true parents, that is the true parents of heaven, earth, and humankind. So true parents' dream is to come down on this earth through true parents' body and to live together with all children of heavenly parent. So this idea of creation would be fulfilled. So when we see our true parents are actually the substantial being of our heavenly parent. So when we see them, our father and mother, we could see actually our God, our heavenly parent. So today we study about true father and also the background history of the second advent Messiah. So each point or essence is also important and to give us the new sight. So let's understand or realize deeply and also digest those things. So this is also great contents. Thank you for studying and joining together. Let's continuously go forward to offer the happiness to our heavenly parent and to the parents. So thank you for joining today. Have a great time. 감사합니다.
Kamsamnida, thank you very much, Rev Yutaka, for sharing with us. As always, many points to look at. Yes, it's simple steps in the providence, but understanding the depth of the heart involved in the steps. And bear with me, I'd like to share what I found to be 13 steps that were revealed in this passage, and they're simple steps, and it pointed out, and it highlights the path of the principle of creation that Jesus, the returning Messiah, and the only begotten daughter followed, and also this is the principle of creation that God intended, but the steps, because of the different uh, uh, responsibilities not being realized by different central figures throughout the ages, resulted in the path of restoration that heaven had to go with. So it mentions in this reading that, I regard it as the first step, and that is to sever connection with Satan. And that was a crucial part of the principle of creation. There should never have been a connection with Satan. So to begin the path, that had to separate once and for all from Satan. So that's a really core point that there's the starting. And so they severed the connection with Satan. And the second point is to follow God's principle of creation through their own conscious effort. So they knew, because of being born as the only begotten son and the only begotten daughter, they knew God's heart. They knew completely their path they needed to follow, which was the principle of creation. And then the third point is oneness with Heavenly Parent had to be extended because of the fact that Jesus went to the cross and the only begotten daughter couldn't be realized, and so Father had to inherit, which is the fourth step, the responsibility and the mission left to be fulfilled, and by also going through the principle of creation and to become the true parents. And then I saw as the fifth point that the new ancestors of humankind as direct lineage could finally emerge, which fulfilled God's desire. And that the sixth point was then the whole focus of history changed after Jesus completed the Old Testament era, and recognizing that it was completed because it should have happened 2,000 years ago. And so point six is the whole focus of history then turned to giving the birth of the only begotten daughter. And so the seventh point is that I saw is that so now 2,000 years after the only begotten, after Jesus, the only begotten daughter was born, and she from her birth was the central figure. It should have been only begotten son and only begotten daughter 2,000 years ago as the central figure as parents, but it became only begotten daughter as the central figure. And the eighth point I saw was that the central figure reveals the role of Heavenly Mother. And this was something that was not revealed because it was not there. Because the only begotten daughter was not born, there was no way of showing the Heavenly Mother. We had thousands of years of being shown the Heavenly Father because of the only begotten Son's birth. But only through the birth of that only begotten Mother we see finally the revealing of Heavenly Mother. Then the ninth point I see is the 53 years from the Holy Wedding to Foundation Day, this wilderness course, primarily the wilderness course of the only begotten daughter, who as the central figure was in oneness with our Heavenly Parent, wilderness because there was still no Chongyul and it took 53 years to lay the foundation for Foundation Day, and Mother carrying out her full obedience to our Heavenly Parent, and also following our true Father, so that the Foundation Day conditions could be laid. And we didn't understand because we didn't know fully or appreciate fully, even though Father did say from time to time how special Mother was, but or is, but we didn't grasp it. And I think that also put pressure on Mother being alone. But something that was highlighted during, or I felt needed to be highlighted during the 53 years, is that true Father protected true Mother, as well as our Heavenly Parent during those 53 years, even though she struggled and made conditions and that of which we didn't understand, and all related to the birth of the children, the true children, and the blessing to us. Then I saw the 10th point as being the opening of Chongyul era that began with Mother, and then point 11 was after True Father's passing, a True Mother is leading the way, leading the providence. And I saw the 12th point that True Father, True Mother, Heavenly Parent truly are one. And through that oneness, everything is completed and restored. And I saw the 13th point in this is us. It's being passed to us. We in the process of achieving oneness with our true Mother, which is the same as achieving oneness with our true Father, which is the same as achieving oneness with our Heavenly Parent. That's when we become the citizens of Chongyul, and we've finally realized God's hope and have, through that oneness, also inherited the entire pathway of God's principle of creation to be able to stand as citizens of Chongalguk on the foundation and strength of our true parents. And so I found a lot of points in this very compelling and interesting. And even though it does sound like it's being repeated, it's not really being repeated. It's just highlighting another step on the way. And even that very last part saying, the three things that true Father has achieved. He completed Jesus's hope, which is the holy wedding. He became the eternal true Father, and he is in oneness with our heavenly Father, just as Mother is in oneness with our heavenly Mother, and together make the true parents. So anyway, I had a lot of thinking, maybe too much thinking today in relation to this reading. I just found it very inspiring. So thank you, and sorry if I took too long. Open it up to anyone else who'd like to share. Thank you. Yes. Yes, Chris, go ahead.
If what we're reading is correct, then the simple fact is that Mary can't be held responsible for not holding the wedding because it wasn't providentially prepared. That's my simple observation. In the past, we've all held Mary responsible for not conducting the wedding, but if things were not ready, then she's totally not responsible for that because it wasn't prepared properly. Anyway, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I think that's true. I mean, the wedding was something further on, but it indicates that at the beginning they all didn't even make the conditions necessary for her birth. So if she was born, then yes, we could worry about the wedding, but she wasn't born. And so the wedding became a moot point. That's true. But she was in the position of together with the other providential figures to make the conditions, but they were pretty much ignorant, I think, in many ways. Yes, Janine, you wanted to say something?
Just the point that you just made, that it was Mary's responsibility to set the conditions for the only begotten daughter to be born. I thought that was, it was her responsibility. That's
together with the other the Zacharias family, and that was highlighted a few times in the reading. Thank you. Yes, Jeff, go ahead.
There could have been a Cain and Abel relationship for women between Elizabeth and Mary, and they needed to unite. And since probably Elizabeth kicked out Mary because she may have felt jealous or something like that, so those two had probably a condition to unite anyway. Anyway, just a thought about that. There's women have their course to overcome, their situation as well, I guess. Just in the same as Leah and Rachel were in the Cain and Abel relationship as well, and Rachel did get victory in the end without complaining, even though Leah had many children and she couldn't have any. She could not complain to anybody. And finally, she had Joseph, and Yeah. Anyway, just some thoughts about those two. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a very true point because since it's a male-dominated thing, we always hear that it was Cain and Abel that needed to be divided to separate the evil from Adam. But the same must have been for Eve. There must have been a Cain-Abel split to enable her, to also be restored. I tend to agree. Yeah, I think that's very valid. Yeah. Yeah, just that it's not written. Yeah, that there would have been a situation like that. Yeah. Anyway, uh, actually, it is coming up to time. Unless there's anyone else who wants to share something. No? All right, then we'll just I'll bring up the screen and we can share our unison prayer. There it is. Okay, and let's pray together. Thank you. Jew, Jew. Thank you, everyone. Thank you again, Reverend Yutaka, for sharing, and I hope everyone has a great day. And see you all again tomorrow. Thank you.
Yeah, have a good day.
Have a good day.